Harbaugh now heads to the Los Angeles Chargers.
He wins everywhere. He wins, period.
Justin Herbert, he's a crown jewel.
Well, you guys better enjoy this.
Quick snap, Herbert to throw. Has a man, touchdown!
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin.
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
I was just trying to show off.
We're going to be known as world champions. And we're going to do it or die trying. Don't let the powder blues fool you.
Who's got it better than that?
Well, howdy there, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chats. I'm your co-host, Will Dog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Duggan.
What's up, guys?
Oh, man, I was like prepping myself to have like my ear blown out.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
As you can hear, folks, just me and Kev. Kyle working through something. We're not doctors. Don't ask us. He's fine. He's just working through something. Yeah, he'll be back. Don't worry about it. Because right now, folks, we have lots to talk about. Obviously, now with the whole draft class underway, we talked about all our new players last week. Now all the good, juicy bits of news are starting to drip through, and we're just there.
The succulent morsels.
Just here to lick it up, folks, and you're going to watch whether you like it or not.
Oh, God.
So let's waste no time. Start at the top. Schedule release coming in hot. We saw on the draft, they announced that Wednesday, May 14th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when this schedule will be released. Cannot wait.
It's finally that. I cannot believe we're getting, these are like those like tentpole moments in the year where it's like, oh shit, things are getting real. Football's really coming back. Like the players are doing like the early camps. Like this is about to happen.
Yeah.
I'm excited. There's so much to be excited about this year.
And especially for us, for those that don't know, Kevin and I both live in Missouri. So it's not like, oh, the schedule comes out, we can just drive there. We've got to figure out flights.
Yeah, we got some planning to do.
Home games, away games. What are we doing as conflicting with schedules? Because Kevin and I both have some pretty set in stone schedules. What can we make work? It's going to be exciting to see, and we'll figure all that out. May 14th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Hell yeah.
For those that watch the Rich Eisen show, got to see it.
Coach is in rare form this year already. Like this is some good stuff.
He's a spicy guy, and I'm loving it because he was on the show, and for those that did got to see Jim Harbaugh say recently he woke up in the middle of the night. After being visited by 3 ghosts, thinking I have to get Justin Herbert to the Hall of Fame. Said it'll take a couple Super Bowls, and a lot of people would benefit from that happening. Just a couple.
I don't know if that's a nightmare. If you woke up from a nightmare, like I gotta get this done, or like, oh, this is what I have coming. This is going to be great.
Yeah, he got visited.
Seems like a confidence guy
by the ghost of Christmas future. And said, this is your future. If you don't get Justin Herbert into the Hall of Fame, he's like, oh, God, Spirit, you, boy, what day is it? Today? Boy, it's draft day, sir. So I love that. I love this coach. I love Jim Harbaugh. I'm so glad that we ended up in the situation where, like, when we needed a new coach, they were like, boy, we hope we get Jim Harbaugh. And we're Charger fans, so we're always setting ourselves up for, we want him, probably won't happen.
Yeah.
Like setting ourselves up for heartbreak, but to finally get the coach that we want, the coach we deserve, and the coach that goes on shows and says stuff like this.
Yeah.
What's not to love?
He's my
Jim
special
Harbaugh?
boy, and I love
is.
my special boy.
Makes
I'll do
me
anything
wake up
for my special boy.
with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
Amen.
He's the best. All right, players, new players, folks. Numbers were distributed, as is the custom. And
There's one of these I'm really eyeing as my next jersey.
Oh, really?
Do you think you can pick out which one it is? Probably easy.
Your next jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's go through it. So Amari Hampton's going to be number 8. Trey Harris, number 9. Kind of cool that they're right next to each other. Jamari Caldwell taking 99.
That feels like a big boy number. That is a big boy, serious business number.
Well, Scott Matlock was rocking that number, and I can't remember if he was rocking it last year, if he's got a different number now. I'd have to look that up.
I think he is.
But yeah, Jamari Caldwell, 99. Big. I mean, it's the biggest number you could have. It's the closest thing to triple digits.
It's a big boy.
Kyle Kennard, 54.
You know what's interesting about that? It's the same number as his South Carolina edge rusher that he came before, Melvin Ingram.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. I was like,
perfect.
Is that Melvin Ingram's number?
Yeah, still handoff.
Keandre Lambert-Smith taking 84. Aronde Gadsden, 86.
That's Hunter Henry's old number.
Branson Taylor, 71. RJ Mickens, 27. Triquez Bridges, 31. Now, the interesting thing about RJ Mickens, I don't know if you already have it down here in the draft. If you do, I'm jumping ahead.
No.
RJ Mickens took 27, but then changed it to 41 because 27 was JK Dobbins' number.
And JK Dobbins isn't gone yet. Gone yet?
So
no, we'll get to that. That's in here.
But that was interesting that he did initially take 27 and then switched it to 41.
Like, oopsie daisy, we're going to give you a shittier number because 41 for a safety is a weird number.
It is. Well, yeah, because that was Neiman, I think, that had that last, Nick Neiman.
Yeah.
So now I got to guess which one is going to be your jersey, your next jersey
easy.
choice.
Come on.
I mean, is it just Omarion Hampton? Is it number 8? Of course. Okay.
8 looks so sick on the jersey. I think that's going to be the move. Yeah. I just hope he's not waiting for 28 to be available. That's the only thing that sketches me out is like he wants to be 28, but somebody on the team is 28. So he's being 8 until he can get 28.
Players do that.
That's what, it's what Derwin did, and it screwed me out of one of my jerseys. So I'm like,
Joey Bosa
nervous.
did it. Melvin Gordon did it.
These are all very good points, and that's why I'm a little gun shy. But I might have to send him a DM and see what his thoughts are if this is something that he might do in the future.
Are you solid on 8? Like, are you?
How are we feeling?
Is this a firm 8?
Is this a firm 8? Because I'm willing to go big on your jersey,
hard 8?
But this needs to be a hard 8.
Great move.
Give me a hard 8.
And then Pro Football Talk putting out that the Chargers use the unrestricted free agent tender on JK Dobbins. Now, everybody saw that and went, what does that even mean? Well, under the terms of the tender, the Chargers will have exclusive negotiating rights with Dobbins if he has not signed with the team at the start of training camp. He would stand to make $3.428 million if he played out the year under the tender. If Dobbins does sign with another team, the move will still count in the compensatory pick formula for both the Chargers and Dobbins' new team.
This is awesome. They're putting themselves on the hook to have to pay him 3.42.
Yeah.
But those 3 running backs?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's insane. Yeah. Like the idea of him being in this running back room and playing, we're never going to throw the ball. We're just going to run down people's throats the whole game. And if it doesn't happen, if he does get signed, which I expect somebody's going to sign him, we get a comp pick. They're basically just like, we feel good that we can bring you back on 3.428. That's fine with us. Mm-hmm. It's cool with you. If it's not, go find somebody, but we're here for you, baby. This is your little hammock that you can fall into, a little $3.428 million hammock,
Yes.
Kick your feet up.
Hammock. Yeah, this is this is great for both parties. And the Chargers, especially, like you said, if we could have Hampton, Harris, and Dobbins.
You have 3 starting running backs. Like, I don't know how you would split the time. I just don't know how you would do that, but it's it would be an amazing problem to have. Very unlikely that it will, but if it did, oh my God, what a year to be a running back in
it would be
Los Angeles.
Quite the momentous year. And for the run first team to have 3 top tier running backs.
The legs will be so fresh.
Crisp.
Like just so certified fresh. The legs will be nothing but fresh.
That's right. And let's see. Daniel Popper also tweeting out Chargers did not exercise offensive line Zion Johnson's 5th-year option. I think that's understandable. Yeah. I don't think that necessarily means that they don't want him back, but it just means that he's now in a contract year.
He's got to prove it.
You got to prove it, buddy. Prove it that you can do the position, make us not have to stress about it. And then if you come out great, hey, let's talk about a contract extension, but not the 5th-year option.
Well, it's a bummer because, when you do a 5th year, you're like, I'm going to lock you into that extra year where you can't negotiate. This is just what it's going to be.
Right.
And the fact that the Chargers aren't doing that, Like, what does that mean for what they see him being? You know, they're not willing to commit that first round money again for another year. Maybe he's not the guy for us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, it's the whole offensive line outside of your tackles is been really shaken up this offseason to the point of like we've all the offseason talent that we've signed, Andre James, Mekhi Becton, possibly moving Zion to center, drafting one in the draft. And I mean, there's still like practice guys. I think Bucky Williams, a guy that we got last year, got hurt. And so we kind of kept him on that injured reserve list.
Yeah.
He's still going to be out there coming out to compete. So it's so many question marks. And I think it's the smart move by the Chargers to be like, all right, we've got a lot of possible talent. Competitors welcome. Let's see what shakes out before we get to the season.
Amen.
And then some quotes from Joe Ortiz this week. There's one here on Omari and Hampton being available. Ortiz says, we stack our players 1 to 200. We go in that order. And when we got on the clock, he was the guy. He was the one of those players that we had up there high that we really don't want to trade away for him unless we get blown away. Really a special player, physical, talented runner, very good speed, excited to have him. We think he can do a lot of great things for us.
Yeah. And we had those speculations of why did they go down to 0? Why did we spend so much time? Were we uncertain of the pick and just didn't know what to do? And then he just released a video of the Eagles trying to trade up with us. And we're like, we want your first and your second round. We're not messing around.
Mm-hmm.
And they were asking for a lot for him. So it wasn't that they didn't want him. It was that, like you said, we need to get blown away by the offer. And
make me an offer that's going to blow me away. And we didn't get it.
My
so
breath away.
Bring, bring. Bring, bring. But nobody made an offer that he couldn't refuse, so he took the top guy that he wanted, and I think we're all better for it.
Yeah.
And then also Chargers Joe Ortiz says the first thing Khalil Mack said after officially re-signing him on the phone call was, "I can't wait to get back with Herb," referring to the strength and conditioning coach Ben Herbert.
Culture changer, dude.
Herb.
Second year with Herb, people are, even the veterans are like, all right, well, I'm going to get away from my private guys I spend a lot of money on. Like, let's get back to the facility. I want to train up with Herb. So that's great news.
It is great news. It honestly, I knew that getting Ben Herbert was a big deal. Obviously, seeing like how he performed with Harbaugh, his resume speaks for itself. But he is proven to be kind of like, and I don't know what you'd call him, like a cornerstone of this team, because one, how much the players love him, like Khalil Mack. You're one of your top guys on the team is like, boy, I can't wait to get back with that guy. Yeah. And seeing him on the sideline, I mean, he's hyping up players in the same way that like Jim is doing, any of the coordinators are doing. Like he's really become an integral part of this team, more so than I would have expected him to. I expected him to be more like, I'm just going to be in the, off to the side, but I'm going to be helping these guys. I'm going to be getting them going. Like, I don't remember any other previous strength coach that has like made themselves such a focal point in a good way prior to Ben Herbert.
Well, and it's interesting too, because he's in the shadows. He did that one press conference when he first got hired. And then ever since then, it's just like, here's what we do. I'm not talking to you guys anymore. I'm just going to get these guys ready. So it's pretty great. You got the ultimate hype man, and you're going to get these guys ready to beat some ass.
Love it. And then lastly, Ortiz on resigning Khalil Mack said, I wanted him back before the season even began. I love Khalil. He was priority number 1, which we can see that now. We've got him signed. It's good to go. We're still waiting on the Rashawn Slater extension. I'm sure that's going to get worked out. I'm sure that's going to be fine. I know some people are sweating about it because it's like, wait, why hasn't it happened yet? We have to get this done. He said he's going to get it done. Just got to give him time. We're still in the offseason, folks. There's still possible moves that this team could make.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just talking out loud. Some quotes from Omari and Hampton talking about Jim Harbaugh said, it's been great getting to know him. We know he's going to run the ball. That's something he wants to do. He's done it all of his career. I'm just excited to get started. With him being my head coach, I couldn't be more happy. How could you
Same, Omarion.
I can't
So
think of
excited
any,
for you,
many
buddy.
coaches that you would be happier to play for than Jim
Yeah.
Harbaugh. And then Hampton, on being drafted by the Chargers, said fit and situation is way more important than draft position. You could go anywhere, but if it's not a fit, then you won't be able to produce what you can do. I feel like fit is a big part of it.
That's saying a lot because each pick makes more money. The higher you go, the more you make. So he's like, this is a future guy. He's like, all right, well, I'm in the right place. I'll go earn that second contract and make a shit ton of money, but I'm in the right place to go do that. It's pretty awesome. It's good head on his shoulders.
It really is. Yeah, no, he is. It feels like the right fit. It's a very mature thing for someone like him to say. Like, he's clearly not, like, he is obviously wanting to get paid, but that's not his main priority. It's like, where am I going to fit? Where am I going to excel? Where am I going to get playing time?
Yeah.
And this is an absolute perfect pick for him. Can't wait to see it. And what might fit for you folks is our Patreon. Patreon.com/ChargerChat. Check out all the fun, silly videos we got going on over there. It's just a great time. You can get freaking patches. I mean, would you look at this patch? Would you look at this patch? Would you look at these mugs? Oh, you could get one of these if you go on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/ChargerChat. But if you don't want to go over there, it's totally fine. Going over to our regular website, chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. Chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers. And hey, you can ask questions and Ask Boltfam, so go check out chargerchat.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, folks, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out, and we really appreciate it when you do that. Thank you. All right, folks, time to go on to the next segment. It is Ask Boltfam.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole, that's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
They love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam. We start at the top with Danny Lags, who asked the question.
Danny.
Hey, young bucks. Hope all has been well. Miss you guys. I saw this showdown going viral, so let's bring it to the Charger Chat. One and done match in a large arena with really tall grass and random rocks everywhere. Bring out the 2025 Chargers draft class and 91 random men, that total being 100 men, no weapons, versus a fully grown silverback gorilla. Who wins?
Yeah, this has been flying around social media. 100 guys versus a gorilla. Arguments on both sides, but
I think if one of the random guys is Coach Harbaugh, I think we have a chance. Because if you have leadership and you can bring the guys together as a team working as one unit the way he does and has done his whole career, I think we could take this bitch down.
I think that's an excellent point because everybody has just been comparing physicality to physicality, but there's something to be said for leadership.
We need positions. We need ankle biters. Yes. We need neck chokers. We need nipple twisters. We need all this stuff to bring this silverback down. Okay.
Hair pullers.
So we need hair pullers.
Toe grabbers.
And we need to all do it at the same time as a team. That's the only way to get this thing done. Yeah, because he might just give up. He might just tap out. We're not have to kill him. Just tap him out.
Yeah. He knows how to tap out, right?
I'm sure.
Just tap out, just kill some random guy.
Who brought the banana? It's like a grenade. Throw it in.
Yeah, I think if it's just physicality and just 91 or 100 random nuts running out there
around,
trying to get a gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't imagine a lot of those guys have confidence too.
No. But if you got a leader like Jim Harbaugh out there as a possibility, they might have a chance.
Just imagine him with like a Roman helmet on and like
no, he's painted up like Lord of the Flies, like
he's got Braveheart energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah.
All right, Danny. Thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move on now to BTFU Chargers guy, baby, who asked the question. Oh, baby, here's a wild question for my Chargers homies, baby. Who's going to win this battle? A flaming hot chicken with 2 machine guns with bulletproof armor versus Ben Herbert with an RPG on a lightning bolt coming down from the heaven. Oh, baby, let's go, Bolt. FDR, FTB, FTC. Can't love you, bye, baby.
It's hypothetical day. Let's go.
It was back to back. Like, one of them was like, okay, everybody's talking about this. But BTFU Chargers guy, baby, says, I'm gonna put a twist on this with a chicken, a flaming hot chicken.
So is this chicken alive or is this like an edible chicken that's holding machine guns? My initial reaction goes to this is like an edible piece of chicken that's animated. So I think we need to be very specific. Chicken? That's the question. Is this lava chicken?
With bulletproof armor and two machine guns.
Well, I think the chicken's kind of been Herbert on a lightning bolt with an RPG.
Yeah, he's already got momentum. He's coming in on a lightning bolt. So
yeah, I'm not worried. I think Ben Herbert could definitely take some bullets and still keep going too. So I'm not worried about that. I'll go Ben Herbert.
And he's got an RPG. Like he's just gonna come down, blow him up, walk away.
Yeah. Or it's like a kamikaze thing where the lightning bolt is heading for the chicken, and then he either like commits to, it being on target, or he bails.
Yeah!
He's got some options. Yeah, it's like the end of Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, I think we're both voting for Ben Herbert there. BTFU Chargers guy, baby.
Great question.
Fantastic question. These are our favorite.
Peak off-season questions. My favorite.
Let's move on now to Thunderlips, who asked the question. When Joe Ortiz called Trey Harris for the draft, he told Trey he was impressed that he ran the 40 even though he was recovering from a repaired sports hernia. It showed he was a competitor. I couldn't agree more. It annoys me when healthy, skilled position players don't run the 40. To me, they come across as wimps. If you're an actual competitor, you would want to run the 40. But if you're afraid to run the 40 because you might not be the fastest or your agent told you not to because your draft stock might fall, then you don't have the balls to be among the best. Malik Neighbors ran a 40 and Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't. To me, that showed itself in the season. One turned out to be a true competitor and the other struggled his first year. Ashton Janty didn't run a 40, but Omarion Hampton did. Omarion could have skipped the 40 because he was clearly established as the second best running back, but he still chose to run it. So, if Omarion turns out to be a better running back, I, for one, am going to look back on the 40 and say one was man enough to run it and the other wimped out. What do you think? Is it a red flag when a healthy skill position player doesn't run a 40-yard dash, or am I making too much out of it?
Thunderlips, I think you may be onto something here.
I think this is a fascinating comparison because
it's mindset.
Like, it's mindset.
Yeah.
And it is something like, because I'd heard that he had gone to the combine, but was dealing with some kind of an injury. But I didn't know what personally. And now to find out that it was a sports hernia, it was like, okay, so yeah, like this is a guy that's like, I mean, number one, I guess there was no cause for concern about, aggravating it or making it worse, but it's just, you just got to fight through the pain from the sound of it.
Well, sounds like he got the full on extra draft star from the Chargers for doing that. Like that's just effort shit, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly Ortiz said that.
And you look at other guys like, Shedeur Sanders didn't do anything. And look what happened to him.
Yeah. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, seriously. So I'm interested in this Omarion Hampton one because I want this to be right because I don't really have any problems with Ashton Genty, but he's a Raider now. So I have all the problems. I have all the problems with Ashton Genty.
Now I got to turn my back on you.
I got to turn on you. Yeah. Exactly.
So it will be interesting if that does end up being the comparison because Harrison Jr. definitely struggled this first season. We didn't hear many highlights from him, but Malik Neighbors we did. So it's a very small sample size, but we will find out come the end of the season.
And the other thing about the 42 is like there's a part of me that like the 40 is good to show the athleticism of the player, but it doesn't really show football. Like it shows you speed,
underwear
but
Olympics,
it's not. Yeah, so there's a part of me that's like, it's not the end of the world not doing it, but I think the more the competitor mentality of wanting to like get in there and do the best possible time, even for like, Trey, when he was hurt, and probably not able to run his best time, just showing the effort I think is important.
Huge enough to make him be drafted in the second round.
Hell yeah.
Possible first round talent fallen to us in the Chargers. Who could ask for anything more? No. Thunderlips, great point. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Cody Luna, who asked the question. Hi, Boltfam. might go to the first game in SoFi. Would it be safe to bet that the game after Brazil would take place at SoFi?
This is the dilemma we're going to have answered in about 10 days. I hope it is, just for my schedule purposes. But I think there's a good chance that it might be an away game. You don't usually,
Yeah, because technically the Brazil game is a home game for the Chargers.
Yeah, it's our home game. So I'm guessing we'll probably be on the road. That's my guess.
Yeah. It could go either way. It's not unheard of for back-to-back home games, especially at the start of the season. But
I'd prefer it to be a home game. That would be great.
Yeah, because for those that don't know, here at the Charger Chat, we try to make every home opener since we started this thing. And we've had a good streak going. Hopefully we can continue that. Yeah, the streak is alive and well, and hopefully we can continue it.
Respect the streak.
And we respect it here, Cody. We'll find out. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Connor Coriel Brumfelt, who asked the question. Boom, boom. The offense had a lot of problems last year. O-line and wide receiver were especially heinous. There are two equal and opposite sides of the O that disappeared. 50-50 balls and passes to running backs. Will we see more now that the O is fixed? Or is that Roman's MO? Boom, boom.
A Law and Order action. This is the thing we talked about all last season, which just like it just never felt like they had schemed up anything like this. Mm-hmm. I'm curious how it's going to play into our hands a little bit more, but everything we saw last year was that we weren't really a dish it off to the running back kind of team. But now that you got Hampton, I think that it could open things up a little bit more for what we're able to do. I hope so. The more of this stuff you can do, the more screens. We didn't have a ton of screens last year either. It's like the more you can open this up and be diverse, maybe we just needed the O-line to be specific for that. But I don't know. I'm very interested to see what happens with this offense this year because, Roman, he's not on the hot seat, but he's got a lot to prove, dude. You can't blame it on anything now. Like the weapons are there. Mm-hmm. And if you felt comfortable going into year 2 with this offensive line, that's, decision you made with, the other coaching staff. So all eyes are going to be on Roman.
Right. And that's not to say that the offense performed poorly last year. I mean, we won 11 games. They went out in a terrible blaze of glory.
And they weren't playing to our standards. Like it was a little frustrating in that sense where we're used to Justin going off and having crazy numbers and we weren't really doing that.
Right.
So I'm just curious. Hopefully we can find a middle ground where I think we're going to run the shit out of the ball. Honestly, I think there's going to be a lot of that. And then hopefully they start loading up the boxes and then Justin can do whatever he wants with his new weapons. Like
absolutely.
It's kind of like the one is going to help the other. It's kind of going to work itself out into like a middle ground kind of thing.
Well, I mean, the one guy that we talked about in previous seasons that was really good at 50-50 balls is back. We got Mike Williams back.
Yeah.
And the other guy that has been touted to have some pretty solid hands is Trey Harris.
Yeah.
So now that you've got these two wide receivers that are really good at catching balls, I think those 50-50 balls are going to come back in our favor. And I mean, we got some new tight ends too. Those cannot be overlooked. Absolutely. So I think everything is shaping up to have a much more improved offense this year. And we cannot wait to see it there, Connor. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Terrell Cooper.
What's up, dude?
Who asked the question? For too long, the Chargers been on the losing side of the trenches. Too many games I have been witness to games lost on the fact that we could not hold on to the line. The pain. But there's changes about. 2 heavy metal running backs, tough and built to last, and a refined offensive line. Now, including the human Bigfoot himself, McCoy Becton could bring a change about we've never witnessed since the legendary LT days. Aye, Charger Chat with Hampton, Najee, Roman's playbook, and our powder blue version of Lamar Jackson, Justin King of all ducks, Herbert. Is it wrong to believe this Chargers team could win the rushing title for the 2025 season? Hashtag I'm dreaming of Herbert. Hashtag
Hashtag K love you, boy.
Okay.
Well done. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Scotsman.
You got my Scotsman in me. Moo, nah.
Head paper. New.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, if there's a vision of us holding on to Dobbins, this would be the most insane running team of the league.
Yeah, if this offensive line can come together, like this coaching staff is going to give them opportunities to be that. Right. I think if we can get the ball moving the start of each game, they're not going to not do it. They're just going to keep doing it until somebody stops us. So if that's the case and we can't really be stopped, we're just going to run the ball on people. And we started, the first couple games of the season, we got into a rhythm and we were doing good stuff last year. We just couldn't consistently maintain that. I think with the addition of Becton and some of the other guys we have coming in to kind of shuffle up that center and other guard position, it's going to be interesting to see how much we pound the rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This could absolutely be just the most crazy rushing team.
Yeah.
Just spread, like you said, fresh for days. I mean, 2 running back sets could be so much fun to watch.
If you had them split out on each side, you don't know where it's going to go. One of them lead blocking for the other because they both beat the shit out of people. Like they could just take turns being fullback.
Or they could just both pass block and get a guy open, make it open for Justin Herbert.
Matlock and then them behind him.
Stop.
That'd be fun as hell.
I can only bolt up so much.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, this offense, I think, is really going to be fun this year. It's going to be complete change, I think, from the previous year.
Totally.
Terrell Cooper. Thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the K-Man who asked the question.
2 questions. Do the 3 of you feel that at least the first 5 picks of the draft will be starters on day 1 in Brazil? Who do you feel we play for the first game there? Thanks, and never forget, I love you all. Okay, bye.
I remember hearing that I think Miami would be the team that we would play in Brazil, but I don't know if that was just rumored.
I heard the Chiefs.
Dude, if we play the Chiefs in Brazil,
but it wouldn't be really fair to do an AFC West game like on the road as a home game. Like they can't really fuck us like that.
Yeah, that would be wild if they did.
I think for me, I think starter wise, I think top 3 will be. I think it'll be a 1A, 1B with Amari and Hampton. And then I think Trey Harris will play. I think he's going to do well. And then Caldwell, there's a spot for him to jump in. After that, I think it's probably situational situation with Kyle, with Kennard, Lambert Smith. And then, Rondé is the one that, it'll be interesting to see what he does in camp because the opportunity is there for him. Conklin obviously is ahead of him, but I think the top 3, at least they will be on the field for the first snap of the game.
Yeah. I think top 5 might be too much, but like you said, it's
they're
tough
playing.
to do it. They're definitely playing. Oh yeah, they're on the team. Regardless.
I just don't know if they're. They're going to be in that game. Just the question of whether or not they're the starter. That we'll find out.
The starters.
Yeah,
but I think either way we should see some gameplay from all 5 of them for sure in some capacity. But and as far as who we're playing, I'm thinking it'll be the Dolphins. That's my pick. But I don't. We'll find out in a couple of days. There, K-Man. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Peaky Bolts, who asked the question. Raise a cup of whoop ass and toast to this badass new regime. Trust the process and let Chef Ortiz cook. What a 180-degree difference from the past. They address so many needs, and that UDFA group has a couple of gems. Going to be hard to hide Luke Grimm and Rocket Sanders on the practice squad. And to think, we still have another wave of free agency. Bring back Keenan. Oh, and Ortiz is open to trades. So my question, is this perhaps, dare I say it, the year where there may not be enough days of practice reps with the second team, nor enough preseason games to truly weed out the best 53 roster? Center offensive line battles, wide receiver battles, running back battles. If they can just stay healthy, this is going to be a deep run season. Say it with me. Bolt up. K love you, bye. So I think this is interesting because and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be 100% wrong, but I'm seeing people say that like the first preseason game, the Hall of Fame game, that does not count as one of the first 3 preseason games.
Yeah, it does. They're not going to play an extra preseason game.
I've seen people say that counts as an extra preseason game. Again, I could be 100% wrong.
I don't think so. I don't think they would force 2 teams to play 4 preseason games.
And
it's
that
just
could
like
be the case.
The workload on people's bodies doesn't make a ton of sense to do that for them. But I maybe I'm an idiot, but I don't remember that happening.
Well,
I might be stupid.
I've just seen posts of people saying now Chargers have an extra preseason game. So if that's the case, then that's a whole extra game for the Chargers to practice and figure out who's going to win in those particular battles.
Well, I think the battles of practice are going to be huge because there's going to be a lot of guys going head to head that should probably make any other team. Mm-hmm. So I think you're going to weed people out pretty quick based on that. The question is, like, are we going to keep our streak? Because the way we brought in players and what we've done so far, are we going to keep that undrafted free agent streak alive, which we've done for like 15, 20 years? I don't know how long it's been. Like every year we have somebody. Mm-hmm. Is this finally becoming a situation where those guys aren't going to make the team because we have so many guys and we drafted so well that that's not a thing? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I mean, the idea of holding on to Luke Grimm and Rocket Sanders, like, you would have to look at a group and be like, okay, well, I could see that one of these 2 guys being an upgrade over somebody that's there. And that's tough.
But like Vidal's in there. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be a really hard, like, I think once we get down to the cut down day and everyone's given who they think is going to get cut, I think this is going to be one of those like impossible tasks to like really lock in who's going to be on the team.
Yeah.
There's just so much depth right now. I just don't remember the last time a Charger team had this much depth.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how it shakes out.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like, it's what we were, Kyle especially was banging the table for. It was just like, give me a bunch of Bs. Don't give me an A's, C's, and D's. Give me a bunch of B guys so that way we can just have solid depth. And right now it's shaping up to be that way which means like a lot of the undrafted free agents, it's just like you said, how do you choose? And the way you do it, practice battles, preseason battles, somebody's got to come through and shine better than somebody else, more so than you or I could ever say. But that's why they get paid the big bucks, and that's why they are in the positions that they are.
I just don't think we're going to have to settle on on positions. Yeah. I think we're going to get into some stuff where maybe it's contracts, like Trey Pipkins is getting paid a certain amount of money. So cutting him, you'd lose a ton of money. Mm-hmm. But if he gets beat out by somebody else, like why keep him on the staff? Like why keep him on the roster?
Right.
So I'm very fascinated by how it's all going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a regime that I don't think is afraid to make those kind of decisions, especially when it comes to money. Like, it's got to be for what's best for the team, not what's best for the pocketbook. So we'll find out, Peaky Bolts, if there is enough training, enough practice for us to figure it out. But thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Athir Kadir. Who asked the question? Judge and chat, my lovely Bull fam, baby. I hope everyone's doing great, baby. I've got a few things to say before I get to my question, baby. If any Chargers fans have not seen my second fan focus with Kevin, I would advise you to do so, baby. I'm not afraid to say this. F the AFC. F the AFC. We are not afraid of the so-called AFC juggernaut Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens. Come on, bring it, bitches. We're ready, baby. Herbert gets the MVP, baby. Wait till after the 4th of July weekend, baby. With my Chargers prediction, I'm bringing the fire, and I want all the smoke, baby. Now to my question, please. Most likely to happen, baby. Hampton gets over 1,200 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns, or Ladd, my superstar wide receiver, getting 15 touchdowns. I know this is really hard, but let's hear the guys, baby. We start with my lovely Coach Kyle, followed by my amazing and great friend Kevin, and we finish with always my baby, my love, my heart, my life forever, Wool Dog. Okay, love you, bye, and the AFC can suck my butt, baby.
Beer. He's getting warmed up. This is like, remember I was talking about all those like pillars of the calendar? This is fired up a fear. Shit's getting real.
He's a pistol. He is ready for the smoke.
He is ready for the smoke.
I love it. All right. Well, this is tough to figure out which most likely. 1,200 rushing yards and 10 tutties for Hampton, or 15 touchdowns for Ladd.
I think it's going to be hard for Hampton to do that if he's really splitting time with Najee Harris. Like Najee was not going to be pumped, and unless there's, God forbid something happens. Like I don't see him getting. Maybe we have 2,000-yard rushers. I don't know. I could be crazy. that would be amazing.
Yeah.
For me, 15 touchdowns is a shit ton of touchdowns.
That's what I mean.
Seeing Ladd go off at the end of the year last year in that playoff game and had like 280 something yards or some shit. Like. Out of the two crazy options, I think what makes it harder is the 10 touchdowns in addition to the yardage for Hampton. I think the 15 touchdowns for Ladd is a tall order. But if anyone can do it, I think he could do it.
So your vote is for Ladd getting 15?
I'll go with Ladd to keep it fun.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Hampton, I could see getting 1,200. But it's rushing yards. It's not just all around yards. In my mind, I was factoring in the receiving yards as well. But if it's just rushing,
that's bell cow. That's bell cow, dude. But who knows? We may be running like crazy amounts. Like who knows?
Yeah. I mean, if there's an opportunity, knock on all the wood that for some reason, Hampton is the only guy that's healthy, then it's like, yeah, of course, 1,200 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns, let's go. But if it's the backfield that it's shaping up to be, with many talented running backs back there, I'll say Ladd. I'll say Ladd. 15 is a ton. I'm going to say Ladd just because I think if we get Ladd that many touchdowns, then that means Herbert is back into peak Herbert and
MVP form.
And
hell yeah.
And if Ladd can get 15 and there's still so many other talented wide receivers that could be catching and making points and making plays. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ladd. Athir. It's unanimous here with the two-headed Charger Chat, buddy. Thank you for asking the question. And let's go out of Ask Boltfam, as we always do, with Tony Francis. Tony, ask the question.
Tony! What's up, cadets? The schedule release show is only 10 days away, and my main question for the world is, what the f*** is everyone doing to prepare? For those who don't live in LA, we are standing by ready to buy flights. For those who live in LA, are we standing by ready to figure out which away game to attend? Come on, soldiers, let's get f***ing loud and let the world know we are ready. My first question is directed to you, Coach. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of an immediate impact do you expect Trey Harris to make? What's your predicted season stat line? My next question is directed to you, Kev. Will you commit to buying a Trey Harris jersey? It seems like when you commit to buying a super expensive, oversized Chargers jersey, that wide receiver has an incredible season. And then you eventually get it signed. Let me know, soldier. And my last question is directed to you, Bulldog. With the schedule release show upon us, what is the one away game you're most looking forward to? It's Nashville for me, cadet. See you at the hoedown. As always, the Raiders, burn the kingdom, kick the donkeys, and suck my butt.
All right, Tony. All right.
Love it.
Don't call it a show because I don't think there's plans for us to do a show, but we will certainly chit chat about it and everything like that. But
schedule release, so that would be 5 p.m. Pacific. We're talking.
Yeah, Kevin is still overseas. Yeah,
I might. You know what? Who knows? You might get a sleepy Kev, but I can't guarantee it at this moment in time.
Yeah. As far as your questions, let's both tackle Kyle's here on a scale of 1 to 10. How big of an immediate impact do you expect Trey Harris to make?
I'd give it a solid 5, 6. I think with Mike Williams coming back, he's gonna, he won't be relied on to have to do everything. I know he's still dealing with, coming off an injury last season, so you don't need to force him into doing anything right away. You got Mike there, plus all the other players that we have. So I think he'll be an impact, but I don't think they'll be forcing him the ball and making him being an impact. I think he'll just find it on his own.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as far as the stat line, I mean, you're looking at last year with QJ, Ladd, Josh Palmer now no longer on the team. So, and now you've added Trey and Mike Williams. So it might be another year of that one year that Herbert had like 5 or 6 wide receivers all over 700-800 yards. it could be something like that.
I think 650, 4 touchdowns would be good for a rookie year for a guy that's not always on the field. Like that could be, but he's the guy that could probably have a lot of yards because he's got that breakaway thing that he did last year and what he's capable of. So, he could be like one of those sneaky guys that comes out of absolute nowhere and is just a dominant receiver for us.
Absolutely. I think, it's a dice roll for Trey Harris, but it's going to be a fun one to watch. That is for sure. So Kev, you getting a Trey Harris jersey?
Is that like the thing now?
Yeah, everybody just pokes and prods you like, get a Trey Harris jersey, do it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what messages you got, but a lot of the messages I got were how shitty the player was that the jersey I picked for. So
yeah,
it was pretty relentless. So I don't know if I want to put. Maybe it's good vibes, but it could be bad vibes. I don't know. I'm right in the middle here. I'm open to it. What's his number again? This will make a big deciding factor. Number
I think 9. It's 9. Yeah,
it is 9. So if I got an 8 and a 9, that's honey. Can I buy 2 really expensive jerseys? Let's see. And I want to be clear about this. The oversizedness actually fits. So it's really not that big of a jersey, or I'm just not what I used to be. The 2 different options there.
We'll go with it just fits.
It just fits.
Yeah, it just fits.
It just fits. But yeah, I'd be open to it. Let's give it some time. Let's see how training camp warms up. I think I want to walk into SoFi wearing a new Charger jersey next year because I got Q's and his is signed. I'm not wearing a signed jersey to any tailgates or games, so that's retired onto the wall. So yeah. Only time will tell. Hey, if you guys want to make some offers and throw some ideas at me, I'm open to ideas.
Yeah. I think that could be fun. But I mean, to be fair, you didn't get the Q jersey until after his rookie season.
Yes.
So
it was
we might
a
have
sophomore season.
Yeah. So if we want to follow the same equation, Tony, we might need to let Trey bake a little bit more. And then once he's hot out of the oven, we can get that jersey.
On this theory, last time I bought a wide receiver rookie jersey, do you know who it was? Daniel Tomlinson. So maybe I haven't bought a running back.
You said a wide receiver rookie jersey?
Sorry, it was just a running back.
Sorry. Oh, running back. Okay.
I'm in wide receiver in my mind. Last time I bought a running back jersey for the rookie year was LaDainian Tomlinson. I haven't bought a rookie running back jersey since. So that might be something to think about.
Could be something.
Mull that over.
All right. We'll let that simmer.
Yeah.
But as far as the schedule release, what is the one away game you're most looking forward to? Absolutely, it's Nashville. My hope and my prayer is that the Nashville game falls on a week that Kevin and I aren't tied up in something else.
Because we can drive down.
Because we can and we will drive to Nashville. And because that would be the easiest away game to go to for us. And that would be just an absolute blast of a road trip to go down to Nashville and watch the Chargers play there. So fingers are totally crossed that it falls on a right day. And it's the one that I'm absolutely looking forward to the most.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Tony, thank you, buddy, for asking the question. And thank you, everybody, for asking questions in Ask Boltfam. Greatly appreciate it. We will catch you guys on the next episode. Any final thoughts there, Kevin?
Great show, old dog. Proud of you.
Thanks, buddy.
You killed it. You had a really good one.
Thanks, buddy. You did all right yourself.
Thanks. Mediocre. But you did really great. You carried this bad boy to the finish line.
You know what to fix.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
That's good to do it for us here at the Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt tough because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Kill everybody.
Love you, bye. And now, a word from our sponsors. When it comes to your garden, don't throw a Hail Mary. Go straight to Grow-marion's Garden Center, where LA Chargers rookie running back Omarion Hampton is taking your landscaping game to the next level. Need a tough defensive line for your front yard? Try our leaf blockers. Want to rush into spring? Grab some fast-growing flowers. We've got a full roster of plants ready to make your garden unstoppable. Grow your garden into a championship team today. Only at Grow-marion's Garden Center.